Good morning. Friday morning, about 9:10 in the morning. One of my viewers, I can't remember who it is, said, I'm biting at the bit, ready to get started on that radio. Well, you're kind of right on that one there. I think it was George M., but I'm probably wrong. I can't remember everybody's comment. What I got here, I got the radio in the box that it came in, right here. And what I'm going to do today, this is going to be part one. This is the official part one. I'm going to take it out. I'm going to unsolder those wires that I showed you on the other video. And I'm going to pull the chassis because it's the only way I can test the tubes. And on this video, we're going to test the tubes with my B&K 606, which is my all-around tube tester for those tubes. It's bothering me that I don't know the condition of the tubes on that GAROD radio. So let's find out what the condition of the tubes are now, and then I'll know what I'm in for. And of course, we don't know the condition of the IF cans, and you won't know that for silver mica until the radio is working. I could measure the resistance of the primary and secondary if I can get at the connections to measure them. I don't know how it is under the chassis, and I won't know until I get it out of the cabinet. So, enough talking. Let's get on the bench here. You want to join me? All right. What I did here is I have a little piece of paper in the little Altoid tin here of the screws that I'm going to be taking out of here. And we're going to be doing that now. They're so small I can't even see them on the end of the screwdriver. Isn't that something? All right, we're dropping them in here. I've got the piece of paper marked with each of the screws I got out where they go to. I had all this off before, as you saw in the video. There's another one. Like I say, I don't see how these guys can take everything apart, just let the screws drop out onto the bench and proceed to take them all out without categorizing them to know where they go back in. Or maybe they review their video, I don't know. I couldn't rely on that because suppose the video gets corrupted. Put that over here. Put that over here. Put that over here. And that goes with the black face up. You never know if the video gets corrupted. I'm just making sure I'm still recording. And I have these little paper here, take notes. Okay, now, the first thing we want to do is to unsolder these wires right here. And we're going to put on our soldering station. And I don't know if this is going to be heavy enough to unsolder. If not, I've got my soldering gun in the drawer here. And I can use that. But we'll let this heat up. And we'll go from there. We'll put this Phillips screwdriver off out of the way here. And now what we're going to do, we'll close this. This is very hard to move over. So I put a tiny bit of oil in here, and it seems to go a little easier. So what we got to do here is remove that. What I'm going to do is remove this tube. Right here, this is the one that I can get to. I wish I had a bigger pad. I don't want that getting scratched up on the bench. This is a 1R5. And we're going to put that over here. And I gotta get a flashlight. As a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do, we'll turn this soldering iron off for now. I'm going to get my spectacles here with the light on them. I just noticed an electrolytic in here. Maybe that's the 8 microfarad. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll show you a little close-up afterwards. Oh, this isn't too bad. This white wire is on a terminal strip, and my needle nose here. Oh yeah, there it is right here. You may or may not be able to see that. Let me get my finger in there. Fingers were invented before pointers. Right here. All right. That's easy to do. It looks like it's only tacked in, and the wire is quite flexible. It has to be in order to... All right, let me put the soldering iron back on here. We'll get a little bit of solder here. We're going to make sure it's up to heat. If this isn't heavy enough, we'll use, get this out of the way here. I don't want to block the camera. I really can't, yeah, there it goes. Am I in? It's hard for me to see that. Well, you're looking at the radio sideways here. I'm looking this way, but I got to have my eyes in here, so you'll have to excuse me. I don't think this iron's going to do it. It's amazing how guys can solder right to the chassis without any problem, and they use an iron like this. I can never do it. The only one that'll even do it is the soldering gun. Or I can use my 100-watt American Beauty. No, I'm not going to be able to get that wire off of there. I'm not going to get that wire off the IF can there. I have to get my soldering gun, but before I do that, got to be a contortionist here. This is not easy. Yeah. Okay, so I got the wire, let me put this out. I got to use the soldering gun. You ain't going to get that. You ain't going to get that. It's heat sinks the iron right out. Trying to get that, but I got one wire off. See what I'm pointing to with my finger? Right there. I got one wire off. The one that's soldered to the can, which is your antenna wires that come out to here. I'm going to have to get my soldering gun out. So I'll take these off here. I'll be right back. I got to dig out the soldering gun. Okay. to really do chassis mounts, like I think Mr. Carlson, I used to do this too, is make a short stub for your soldering gun. But this will work off the chassis, but it's awful hard for me to get in there. I'm right in the way, I'm sorry. Boy, even the heat sinks this down. I never had any luck soldering to a chassis. And this is the IF can. It should be easier, but... it's not coming off. I might have to get the American Beauty out. I gotta shut this video off here a minute. Damn batteries. I just charged the battery on the JVC. But they're in red again. Alright, because I'm left-handed, all you're going to see is probably my arm soldering gun in here, because I need to put pressure on that wire, which I can just barely see, because I don't have my spectacles on. That will give me some magnification. Alright, that's better. Now, I wasn't pulling on the wire before, now I am, and I'll put the gun there. I should be able to unsolder this. Just getting synced out. I really don't know how these guys solder the chassis. I can't even unsolder off the IF can. I may have to cut it and leave the pigtail and hook and pinch when I put it back on. It's not coming off. It finally did. Alright, I got it. It's not easy, but I got it. Okay. I got it. There it is. So now, alright, let's get this. Let me stop the video a minute. I gotta get this soldering iron off the bench. Okay, we're back on here again. Now there's 2/4 inch screws here, as I said. But before we remove those, we should be able to just, yeah, these 2 white wires that I just unsoldered will just hang there inside. I'm going to take out the 2 screws for the power switch, which are brass, I think. My screwdriver keeps slipping on that. I want to make sure there's no nut on the back of that. I don't think there is. It's machine thread, so it must be tapped into the case, not self-tapping, in other words. It's, okay. We're going to put those in there. All right. This where I can see it. I'm sorry if I get my ugly head in the way, but I have to get my face right on top of everything. I don't seem to have the right, I don't know, the blade is too thick. Let's see, see if this one will work. Okay, we better close up, put this can over here. Am I still recording? Yeah. Normally I don't like working on camera. Okay, so that's power switch is ready to be pulled out from the back. So now my quarter 20. I don't think this has been taken apart. Although those wires for the look like they were taken out. All right, put that in there. I hate taking something apart when I don't have the parts on hand, like the tubes. It bothers me because there could be a long time before I'll be able to get the tubes. All right, there's a screw up here. Let me see something here. I always have to make sure the screws are the same size. There was 2 screws here for the switch, which, as I said, look like they're brass. I would say they are the same. Okay, I'm going to put this over here so it doesn't get knocked over and all over the bench. Okay, that's ready. All right, we just got to pop the power switch out. Isn't that beautiful? No insulating. A lot of these radios have insulation, you know, like a special cardboard around. This don't. Probably because it's not AC and battery. Okay, so we'll close that up. Set that off to the side. Now you got the same look I have, okay? And I'll tell you, it's going to be a toughie working on it. It's got that white stuff on there. You know what I do with that? I take a little oil, like 3-in-1 oil, very little, and wipe it down with 3-in-1 oil. And whatever that coating is, probably cadmium or whatever, it'll neutralize it, it'll clean it off, and it will not be hazardous. I've always done that. So we just take a little oil, it's no matter. I got some of this here, like a turbine oil. And we do that first before we do any work on the radio. So we put a little bit of oil on the rag. Like that. Now you're safe. Takes it right off. And it's not going to blow like asbestos on you. Hey, that's all. Much safer just to do this. And over here, same thing. Top of the speaker frame, which looks pretty good anyways. I have cans. And we got to be careful of our speaker. We don't want to knock any holes in it. We'll get you a close-up in a minute here. Our volume control pot seems to be a little discolored. So it's kind of like tarnished. It's not anything to worry about. And we hit the frame of the tuning condenser. We don't have any white stuff on that. The frame of the output transformer. This is I'm going to give you a close-up, but this is not going to be an easy radio to get at. Let me just see something here. Yeah. I want to make sure I get into the corners here. Very good. Now on the back of this, I can't really, it's riveted in, so I can't take this off and clean the back. And let me get you over here. It's time for a close-up. Okay. This seems to be, the dark area is tarnish. The lighter area is the metal. It's not that white stuff. See how nice and clean that is? But you see it's riveted right here. Those are not screws. Those are rivets. It looks almost like the kind of mounting they'd use for some dial bezels. I've seen this, where they snap in. But it's hard to tell in the back. This is not going to be an easy one to get at. But you see in here, I'd like to pop that off and clean that. That white stuff is, I think, is cadmium, and it's not something you want to keep on there. The speaker's in beautiful shape, and we better put something on that, or it isn't going to be. There's that third screw. It's this is one of those captive type of nuts. Not really a nut, but that where you have something to screw into, hold it in. Here's your power switch right here, and pull that back and test the tubes. We're going to do now is we're going to try to get the tubes out. But before I do that, let me see, how can I put something on that speaker? I got to. Or I will punch a hole in it for sure. Let me get you a little close up here. This has got to be the electrolytic. This has got to be the 8 microfarad right there. Not sure. Looking through the viewfinder of the camera, I'm not sure if that's the positive or the negative. I don't know. Don't know if I can get at that or not. It holds the speaker in. That's a rivet, 1/4 inch nut that actually mounts to the chassis here. And your tuning condenser is soldered with a tab and a rivet onto the chassis right here. Alright, I'm going to put something on that speaker because I know my finger will go through it. I'll be back. Okay, we got the speaker well protected here with a hard plastic protector here. So now we'll get you back on the tripod and we're going to pull the tubes and we'll set up the tube tester and test them out. So I'll be right back. Don't go away. Well, I can't get you a top view because I don't have any place to put the mini tripod. So you may be able to see the meter. The first tube we're going to test is the one I removed the first time, which was, what was this now? A 1R5. Okay. Oh, well. Look that up. What we're going to do is put the magnifying spectacles, which are over here. 1R5. Oh, it takes me more time to look up the tubes on the chart than it does actually test them. Alright. 1D. S4. 1R5. Now you see, 1R5, it's telling me to set the tester to 2 volts. Take my word for it, that's what it says if you can't read it. So, so 1R, 1L, 1R, 1R, where is it? 1R5, 2 volts. There is a 1 volt setting on this model 606 B&K, but it's telling me to set it at 2. Okay. 53 for A. $53 for A. B is 5. I always double check. It's so easy for me to make a mistake. C is 4, and it's on 4. And socket number 6, which is right here. And you can see the tube lit. I can. Now normally you can't see these tubes. I got to show you this. Hang on a minute. Now normally you cannot see these tubes. This is a 1R5, is it? Okay. The tester's saying set it for 2 volts. Okay. Normally you cannot see these, and you got to have this in a darkened room. If I put this down to 1 volt, it'll go right out. Okay. 2 volts is what it calls for right here. Okay, that's what the chart calls for. I just want to let you know that. Now I've seen these tubes light up before, but not all the tubes show it. It depends on where the filament is in there. But I just thought I'd show you that. Now let's see if we got any grid emission. See if we got regular emission. We're good. Okay. rotate for shorts. Now on the test, one R5, it doesn't give any notation. 1R5, 2, 53, 4, 6, 4, and socket 6. No notations on shorts. So we can rotate it. We come back to 4. We'll rotate this. We'll look at the... Okay. Test again. Emission's good. No grid emission. Okay, tube is good. So we'll just go back here and get you back on a tripod. All right. I don't want to keep moving the tube tester. I got to pull the next tube here. So we'll pull the one that's next to the power switch. Okay, which is the 3S4. Now normally, I don't like to test the 3-volt tubes, you know, in this case one 3-volt tube, because there's always that chance. I like to do all the 1.4 volts first, and then the last test to 3V4, but we just got to remember to put the filament switch back down to 2 again. So I'm estimating that it's going to ask for a 3 volt on this here. So this is a 3S4. So let's set that up for 3S4. I'll be right back. Okay, if you look down here on the tube chart, 3S4, there's an asterisk right next to the 48 setting. Normal shorts on position 2 and 6. All right, position 2 and 6, normal shorts. So let's test that now. And we're going to do the shorts first. All right, we're sitting at position 3, which is what we're supposed to be. We'll rotate it now. All right. Six. Normal shorts on 6. And what did I say, 3? Normal shorts on 2 and 6. What did I say, 3 and 6? Okay. All right, 3S4, it's 48. The next one under is a 3V4. So, okay, there's only one test on this. Obviously, it's an audio output tube, so there would only be one test. So normal shorts on 2 and 6. I wasn't getting any reading. I was wondering why, because this has got to be on 3 for the testing. So let's check for grid emission. No grid emission. And we're looking good on the emission. So we got 2 good tubes so far. Okay. All right, so this is the 3S4. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drop the filament down to 2, because the rest of the tubes are 1.4. So that's what the tube tester calls for. So we'll be ready for the next tube here. I'm showing you a little more than what I really should, but that's to the benefit of any of you out there that are not too familiar with testing tubes or working on tube radios like this. All right, so we'll put that tube back in here. That's your audio output. That tests good. This one tests good. So we've got these tubes here to test. I'll be right back. Next tube is a 1T4, already set up. Same socket, socket number 6. No notations on the shorts, so we'll rotate the shorts right now. Okay, no shorts, no grid emission, and I don't know if you can see the needle. Okay, do it again, no grid emission. And we got good emission. So, your 1T4 is good. Let's see if I can get that in here. It's a little awkward. But I got it. You can see on this, you have to get in here with your fingers and lift it out, so the radio has to come out of the cabinet, of course. All right, so now we've got a 1S5. So we're going to set that up. I'll be right back. Okay, 1S5, there's 2 tests for this. First we're going to do the shorts. No shorts. Let's check the grid emission. No grid emission. And we're testing good. This is the last tube. All right, now for the second test. The second test is 1S5 RS. Where are you? 1S5. Okay, the first test was 54, 6 and 6. The second test is 70 on A. Okay. 6, 3. Okay. 6 and 3. All right, first of all, we'll rotate the shorts again because we had a different setting here. I think we did. I don't know. I'll test it anyways. So we're going to come back to 3. We're setting on 3 here. Okay. Grid emission? None. We're good. We're 90%, and that's about what all the other ones are. So, what we've got all good tubes. So that's an investment I don't have to worry about making. Here's where it was soldered to the can. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. That's where that wire was soldered. As far as I took a soldering gun in order to heat that up. Okay, so all right, so we know the tubes are good, and I didn't expect that. So we put the tester down to 1 volt. We'll put the tester away here. I'll be right back. All right, well, that's a pleasant surprise, but Also, at the same time, a mystery as to why it's dead. Could be a number of things, but I did hear some static in the speaker. We got the voice coil right here, so let's find out if we get any activity, any clicking, and we may not with the ohm meter. We're going to measure it, and of course we're going to measure the audio output transformer, so that's not a good test. But I could probably stick very quickly a 1.5 volt battery across it, very, very briefly. .6 ohms. Alright, so that's not telling me anything because that could be the audio output transformer. There is a possibility the speaker would be burned out. That would be awful. And I don't want a Chinese speaker in here. You'll never get one like this. So if the speaker's gone, it's going to be a shelf queen, and I won't even attempt to recap it. But let's not jump to conclusions, folks. Let's get some my clumsiness closed the cover on my JVC camcorder here and shut the video off. I'm a klutz. Let's see here. Where am I going with this? I gotta find a clip lead here because I put them all back after making that rat's nest hookup that I had here. So I gotta get my other glasses on. I can't see anything. Can't see detail. We gotta listen for a click. And that will tell me if the speaker's burnt out or not. This is probably a chassis ground. This got to be this is an electrolytic, and this is the negative. Okay. Now, I don't think the electrolytic is shorted because we wouldn't have gotten any 68 volts in there. All right, so going to listen. Speaker's good. Oh, what a relief that is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. All right, so we know we got good tubes, according to the tester. It was suggested by Dan of Cool Blue Lights. It's a good idea. He said you should spray the volume control with deoxide. And I will do that right now because there's a possibility that the volume control could be defective and maybe cleaning it would help. So here is the entry point where I'm going to put my deoxide. So we're going to go on the shelf here and get it. Am I going in there? Damn, I can't see anything. Yeah, I got it in there all right, quite a bit, but it comes out quick, you know. The best way to do these is with the deoxide, what is it, the D100, but that's outrageously expensive. With the little stainless steel needle on it. It's a little bottle, like a squeeze bottle, like that oil I have. But that stuff is insanely priced. Okay, let's turn this way. Sure a good thing I closed that speaker up or I would have had a disaster. Okay, we're not going to try to fire this thing up. I think it's going to have to be recapped Now there is a possibility audio output transformer could be bad, but that will be on part 2. If I can get at it, I can feed in a 1.5 volt on the primary of the audio output transformer. One lead will be, I'll look at the schematic, will be on the plate of the 3S4, and the other would be probably on the B plus feed. Okay. All right. Kind of a mess, isn't it? That stuff, deox is good, but it gets all over everything. It ain't gonna hurt anything though. Audio output tube is right here. So we're not going to do that test today. This is your audio output transformer. This and the IF cans are the most, and the speaker are the most important things on the radio, that if any one of them is bad, you're dead in the water on something this old and small, and parts are no longer available. These are rivets. They look like they might pop out, but I don't want to force it. And looking under here, looks pretty clear in there. All your stuff is is in here. So in order to replace that, we take out these two. I'm sorry, I just can't get you in camera. I gotta look where I can see, so I can't always be in camera. Alright, so you take out these 2/4 inch, the whole volume control is on this bracket, and I can probably get at the components. So the radio will stay apart at this time. At least I know I don't need tubes. So each time I find something good, the suspicion comes back to the IF cans. That's what bothers me. We got another hurdle to go over, and that is the audio output transformer. And if that is bad, well, first of all, it's riveted in, but it can be drilled out. And that looks like a pretty well a standard output transformer. However, one for a 50C5 All-American 5 radio may not fit, and I don't have any anyways, but let's just hope this is good. We're doing that on another video, so today is going to be the end of part 1. And remember, this is the official part 1. The other one, I posted it as this is not part 1. So officially, this is part 1. And that concludes the video for today, for your entertainment purposes only. Stay tuned for part 2. We have a beautiful day today. It's going to be in the 50s. I wanted to get this out so I can test the tubes. So I know I don't have to buy any tubes. There might be something simple. It could be an open audio output coupling capacitive. It could be an audio output transformer, primary open. Very unlikely the secondary. The wire is pretty heavy. A gold is usually the primary. And on the audio output transformers, on your power transformers, which this don't use, your most common problem is the secondary, because the wire is thinner. On The audio output transformer to secondaries, the wire is thicker because of the low impedance of the speaker. Obviously, you all know that. All right, so that concludes part 1